Welcome back, guys. So today I'm doing something different. I have found out that there are a lot of big name designer brands that are so hard to pronounce, frankly, and I know that if you're not francophone or you don't, you have nothing to do with fashion really in terms of like being a professional thing, it probably could be hard to say them brands. Honestly, I know it could be so tongue twisting, and so you know what, I got you. So generally I do know that with countries it's much easier because every country is mostly or is oftentimes a different name in another language. For example, Germany would be Allemagne in French, in German it's Deutschland, and in English it's Germany. Yeah. But with brands it's just not the same. So Versace does not become Versace in English. I'm gonna start with Dior. I think Dior recently dropped the Christian, so it would have been Christian Dior, but now it's just Dior, which is really easy to say. Dior, right? Next is Chanel. Chanel is easy. Chanel. Next is Givenchy. I know that one is a bit hard, but just Givenchy. So it's not Givenchy or anything like that. Givenchy. And then I have Balmain. I know it's tricky because in English it's very easy to say Balmain, but that's just not what it is. So it's Balmain. And next I have Christian Louboutin. So a pair of Christian Louboutin. That's easy. Then this one's a bit tricky. Yves Saint Laurent. Like Eve, right? Like Adam and Eve. Yves Saint Laurent. Then I have Louis Vuitton. This one is funny because I once saw an episode of, what's it called now? Fashion Police, where Nini and what's her name? Joan Rivers' daughter, Melissa, I think her name's Melissa. They were teasing Brad Goreski about saying Louis Vuitton, but he was actually 100% correct. It is Louis Vuitton. But I suppose people who don't speak French or who aren't, in that axis or in that sphere wouldn't find that so easy to say. But it's Louis Vuitton. So let's just Louis Vuitton. Not Louis, so let's not go there. Louis Vuitton. Next I have Jean Paul Gaultier. That's easy, right? Jean Paul Gaultier. Yeah. And then there's Lanvin. Lanvin is like huge in France and in the fashion sphere as well, because I know that in fashion school that was like one brand that we counted as very important, and we had to like check them at the shows and everything. Next I have Hermes. Hermes is I don't know if it's an exception in terms of like pronouncing the S at the end, because generally in French for the most part you don't pronounce the S at the end of a word, but Hermes, it's Hermes. It's not Hermes or no, it's like air. Hermes. Yeah. Then there's Jacquemus. Jacquemus is a new brand, I think, relatively new. I mean, compared to all these other ones I've mentioned, but I love the aesthetic, right? It's such a cool brand. So it's Jacquemus. Did you know that in French, John is Jacques? John in English is Jacques in French, which is, I don't know, weird. So anyways, Jacquemus. Next is Alaïa, Azzedine Alaia. That looks different than how it's said, I think. I don't know, maybe not, but that's probably something that could be confusing to say if you have never had to pronounce it or come in contact with it. So it's actually Alaïa. And then there's Rosie Assoulin. So I don't know if this is actually just how the French people say. I don't even know if she's a French designer. Rosie Assoulin. That's just how I know that it is said in fashion school, etc, etc. So if you don't know, I keep saying fashion school, but I actually went to fashion school in Paris. So I studied fashion design and technology for a couple of years. I got a degree, actually a proper degree. It was amazing experience. I miss Paris, but I'm I'm enjoying home as well. Finally is Margiela. So it's, I think now they dropped the Martin, so it's Maison Margiela as opposed to Maison Martin Margiela. Yeah, as opposed to Maison Martin Margiela. So now it's Maison Margiela, or you can just say MMM for short. MMM. Next I have cosmetic brands. So L'Oreal, that's easy to say, right? L'Oreal. If you didn't know, of course that would be hard. L'Oreal. Or if you can't say the then you can just say L'Oreal. Yeah, L'Oreal. And then Guerlain. So it's kind of like Balmain as well. AIN is so Guerlain. Next I have Lancome. Caudalie is so pretty. Caudalie, like, that's like one of the prettiest. Such a beautiful name. I wish I could name my daughter Caudalie, but I think people would like murder. They would kill the name, I beg. Caudalie, so delicate, you know. And then I have Louboutin. That's easy, right? It's just sometimes it could be confusing. You don't know if it's a k or a s, so it's Louboutin. Next I have Yves Rocher. Yves Rocher is a brand that they currently have in Nigeria, and I love Yves Rocher. Actually, this is not sponsored, but I love Yves Rocher. In fact, I'm gonna do a review sometime soon. Stay tuned. And then there's Clinique. Clinique is also a fairly common one, so I think that's easy to say. Clinique. And then we're gonna go to the Italian brands. Now, I don't speak Italiano, but I love Italiano. I love Italy. I love Italian food. Pasta, pizza. What's not to love, right? Gelato is the best. Because I did see Donatella talk about it, and I was like, people say Versace, but it's Versace. That's easy. Versace. And then there's Dolce and Gabbana. So my understanding is that CE is che, not chi. Dolce and Gabbana. That's easy, right? And then Gucci. And then there's Moschino. It's not Moschino or Moschino, like mosquito. Yeah, like a mosquito. Moschino. And finally, Cristobal Balenciaga. Balenciaga is now a French brand, but the name is not French, I believe. I think it's Spanish. Monsieur Cristobal Balenciaga was a Spaniard, I believe. So with the French accent, it's Balenciaga. but that's just because the French people say you know, and in English we say it's Balenciaga. But whatever the case, at least you have a better to be like, you know, yeah, just somewhere in there between the French and the English style. I don't know how the Spanish people say honestly, but Balenciaga. I'm just gonna go with French because anyways it's a French brand now, so Balenciaga. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to talk. I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there are any other brands you want me to say, or if you're curious about, just let me know. I'll do the research for you, let you know. Oh, and just so you know, so my background is I do speak French. I learned French when I lived in Paris, so I speak French pretty well, as I said, exceptionally average French. And I also speak German, which has nothing to do with this whatsoever, but I am multilingual. I also speak the Yoruba language. It is a language, not a dialect. Yoruba language. And I speak English, of course. And what else do I speak? That's pretty much it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.